Hey folks, Ace TCG here, and today we have a PvP from the Team Crit Hit half case tournament. We have Brad on the left and Terrence on the right, and these are both from the PGSC YouTube channel, so definitely check them out. So yeah, this is the half case tournament. It was really good. Thank you to Team Crit Hit for sorting it out. Both of the deck profiles for these lists will be below from PGSC. They're really good. Check out their channel because these lists are pretty spicy. Brad on the left is playing a green-blue variant. And on the right, Terrence is playing a yellow-red. And in this tournament, they were allowing the mulligan and side deck rule, which is cool. So we're going to see Brad side deck straight away, hatch his demi something, and then go into a Strabimon in the raising, and then play his green tamer out. I'm going to struggle with some of the names for green because it's not a color that I've ever really played. So we can see that Terrence is playing the red stuff there. The actual inheritable ability of that there baby is that on swing you actually can delete a Digimon with 1000 DP. That might not seem that good right now. Most rookies in the actual format are 2000. However, because of the list that Terrence is running, he has a lot of ways to be able to reduce the DP power of his opponent's security. So you can actually get really, really nice value from that inheritable when he goes into a rookie on top of it. He's going to play a TK here for 4, and then he's going to grab a Blinding Ray using that ability. We can see a little bit of Terrence's hand, and it's looking pretty good, but he is playing yellow hybrid, so he has to play not stally per se, but yeah, you don't have to do a lot. You play it like Setcon. Brad's going to go ahead and raise the, I think it is Strabimon, right? Swing in and not accidentally, but unfortunately hits a TK and carry, which you really don't want to see. He's going to play his JP for 3. Now, JP is an absolutely fantastic card. If you don't know what JP does, it reduces the Digivolve cost of a hybrid on top of it to 1, I believe. I think that's right. And it also has the piercing inheritable, which is great. And then Brad's going to go ahead and play another Strabimon here. I believe it is Strabimon, and gets to look for hybrids from the top of his deck, which he does add. Terrence goes ahead and draws, gains his 2 memory from the TK carry 2, so it puts him to 5 the turn. Digivolves into a Kazemon here. This could just be so that he could swing into the Strabi here, just get rid of some of that, and that's what he goes ahead and does. Which is pretty good. I'm not sure here whether I would have got rid of the TK and kept the TK carry, just because if Brad ever puts him to more than 1, then he's going to gain a lot of value from that. However, he is going to go ahead and play a Trident Revolver because he does have that red source in his Digi, in his Digitama, in his raising area. I'm broken with words. And he gets to play out another TK carry. Brad's going to go ahead and Digivolve here into a hybrid, gets to look at the top 5, but unfortunately misses. And then he Digivolves for 1 into one of the new Spicy Spice 1 Digivolve costing hybrids if you have a tamer, which is great. And then he gets to use the ability of the hybrid, which is when swinging you can Digivolve into your level 6. He goes into his level 6, swings at the Kazemon, and then the level 6 ability will kick in, where it states that if an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you can trash the top card of your opponent's security, and then he gets piercing from JP too. So it's pretty good. It's really, really spicy, and it can be scary at times. But yeah, Terrence is going to go ahead and go over the TK carry again here with a Kazemon, and then pays 1 to go into his own very spicy 1-cost ultimate in the form of Jet Sylphie, which is absolutely busted. So you can Digivolve for 1 on top of a hybrid if you have a tamer, and then when Digivolving, you can just recover, which seems pretty good. Terrence is going to go ahead and pay 0 to play Blinding Ray here. Blinding Ray trashes the top card of his security, and he gains 2 memory, and that's so he can do this now. Some beautiful shenanigans in Terrence's deck. Digivolves into the BT4 yellow Wargreymon. That's going to be really nice because this means he can just straight up deal with it. I think, is it Ancient Beetlemon? Is that right? I think that's its name. We're going to go with it. I'll just say it with my chest today. But yeah, he's going to swing at that there Mega, use the effect of Wargreymon to give it minus 6k, and then he's going to restand using the Wargreymon effect. Yeah, really good. Now that Ancient's effect has the same as a lot of the old Ancients, is that on deletion you can play a hybrid from your hand, which is very good, because now Terrence is in a weird situation where yes, he's dealt with that really problematic card. However, now that's got there, but he says it's fine, I'll deal with it today. Digivolve straight into the Susanamon and just deals with that there again issue. Brad goes ahead and pays 2 and digivolves into another hybrid here. I believe that hybrid's effect states if you digivolve over JP, that's when you gain your effects. But yeah, he doesn't have JP underneath it, so. And then he just smacks down another hybrid, adding a lot of pressure. However, this Susanamon has +2 security attack, so if Brad really wants to, he could swing. Wow. Brad uses a Lightning Joust on the Susanamon, so Susanamon's hitting for +3 sec, so it's 4 checks. Brad hits 1 Davis and 3 rookies? 2 rookies? Yeah, not the best. But, however, Davis is nice because you can add green and a blue Digimon here, so he gets to add one of his hybrids. So yeah, let's go. On the right, he's going to go ahead and go into a Kazemon again here. He's in a really weird situation again, where, yeah, he's just not in the best spot. But he can go into a Jet Sylphie for 1 and recover. So, because Brad has a blue tamer here, I'd have done the exact same play as Terrence here, expected that Brad probably isn't going to be running the blue hybrids here. His deck appears to be mainly blue. However, Terrence plays a lot with Brad, so I'm assuming he already knows this list as well. But Brad on the left is going to go ahead, digivolve into that really nice ultimate here, and then he gets to use the ability to go into his Mega. What's even better though is that he Thunder Lasers the Kazemon here, gets to trash the top card, and then piercing. Well, there's no GP, so there's no piercing anyway, but he gets to trash the top card because of the Mega effect. It's going to pass back over to Terrence on the right, and here's a weird situation. Brad obviously expected him to just be straight out here. Brad's already got a tamer out, unfortunately. Terrence has a tamer out in the form of yellow carry. I would have done exactly the same thing as Brad and just expected that I'm going to lose here. However, Terrence doesn't have a hybrid in his hand. So Terrence swings into the Mega, and then the Mega's effect is going to go off and allow him to play hybrid, and then Terrence has to scoop it up, which is really unfortunate for Terrence because it really went a lot back and forth with that matchup. So Brad takes game 1. Moving on to game 2 now. There are side decks in this, remember, but Terrence has decided to go second, making Brad go first, which is just better really in the hybrid format with some decks, especially with yellow, because you're playing more SecCon. Like Brad's here, put Terrence to 3, so you can just play the TK and put Brad back to 1. We can see Terrence's security here as 2 TK carries, 1 Bokomon and a Kazemon, and a carry. Yeah, there's 5 in security. But yeah, he takes the Kazemon and then goes for the just passes turn over to Brad. Brad's going to look at the top 5 with the Bokomon and get the add there, which is, very, very nice. So yeah, he's not in a particularly bad situation here, Brad on the left. He's got a JP and a Bokomon out. Yeah, pretty nice. Terrence is going to go ahead and play his own Bokomon here for 3, and because he has the TK out, that means that it's not going to pass his turn, which is nice. He's going to add another TK to his hand here. A little bit of a sad thing here, he put some of the Gearmons to the bottom of the deck. And it doesn't look like he has any of them in hand right now, and he'd kind of like that value. But Terrence is going to play the completely blew my mind, the Zoe here. He plays the Zoe from BT7 here and goes with it. When he played the TK, I don't know if he had the Zoe, but if he did, I might have left the Kazemon and then took one of the tamers so that he could play the tamer. And then when he did play the Zoe, he could have added the Kazemon, but yeah, nothing too major here. Brad on the left goes into his hybrid, does the checks, and then he's going to play a Davis here, gets to add a green Digimon to hand. Davis is a really good idea for this deck, and then he plays another GP, which is great. Super good. It's actually really interesting here because he has a Bokomon out. He gains tons of value from digivolving into a hybrid because it reduces the cost by 1, and then he gains 2 from the Boko, so he effectively gets paid 1 memory to digivolve into a hybrid in that scenario. In this one, it's a weird one where I really want to be dealing with that Bokomon because it can be really problematic against green because they just gain tons tons of value. Terrence on the right is going to go into the Zephyrmon on top of the Zoe. So the Zephyrmon effect's going to go off, and security has plus 3k, and then the Zoe inheritable gives it plus another 3. So currently his security is on plus 6,000 DP, which is really, really good. So yeah, decent play from Terrence here. And then he goes into the Wargreymon, and he's able to play out a TK. Unfortunately, that TK effect isn't going to go off, but however, he did draw a Gearmon from the Digivolving of the Rise, so he's able to then Digivolve into a Gearmon in his raising area, which is, yeah, really nice. I was talking to Terrence about the Gearmon, and yeah, it's a lot of value for the deck, so it's nice. And then he's going to go ahead and play a Pokemon here. So he has 2 Pokemons out, which is absolutely really nutty. He unfortunately doesn't get a hybrid on his checks, but he does get the Zoe, which is, yeah, good. Great value, actually. Play a rookie that gives you memory in the future and get a tamer to hand. It's pretty, yeah, still pretty good value. So Brad doesn't look to have his own rookie on the left here. We can see that he does have 1 tamer, and he also has the Rattlestar there. So the Rattlestar is actually pretty good here because Terrence has 3 Digimon, so he can just bottom deck any one of them if he wishes to. So you could get rid of that Rise, like I said, because they both run their own YouTube channel. They've played against each other before, they're friends, so they know each other's deck. But Brad's going to go ahead and go into his ultimate here for 1, which is, again, really nice. But then he does do the Rattlestar play and gets to bottom deck that Wargreymon, slowing Terrence down a little bit here because it means that he can't straight up go into the Wargreymon this turn. He is only at 3. However, if he does have the line to go into a hybrid and then into maybe Jet Sylphie, he could then still be able to go into the yellow Wargrey because he's going to gain 4 memory when he Digivolves here into a hybrid because of the Pokemon effects. He raises the Gearmon here, which, yeah, again, super nice value. But it also could just be lethal if Terrence is able to get any of his Lightning Jousts out here, which I'm sure you will see how spicy the yellow Wargreymon and the Lightning Joust is that Terrence has like built together here, because it can really pack a punch at times. So Terrence is just thinking about whether he should be Digivolving here. He pays 2 to go into the Kazimon, and then he's going to gain 2 from the Pokemon effects, and he's just drew the Lightning Joust. So Terrence could straight up just have game here, because he can pay 1 to go into the Jet Sylphie, and then he can pay 3 to go into the Yellow Wargreymon, and then he only has to pay 1 to be able to go into the Lightning Joust, and he is at 5, so yeah, good. So he's going to Lightning Joust the Kazimon here, pay 1 for the Jet Sylphie. Oh, so spicy, such a cool list. He recovers here, which is, yeah, it just then added a little bit of flavor on top, and then he pays 3 for the Yellow Wargreymon, and wow, now he has a Mega that's going to be able to swing twice with +1 security check. It has plus 2,000, so it is only hitting for 13k, which is a little bit scary to do against green. Terrence said that, yeah, it can be hard sometimes because obviously it's their Mega is 13k base. I really can't remember names, but yeah, he's going to go for it. He swings with his chest. He's going to use the Wargreymon effect to restand, -6k to Boko, hits a Madoki and hits an Arbomon, which is what you want to see here. He swings again, hits an Arbomon, and then hits a Rattlestar. So that Rattlestar effect is going to go off to be able to bottom deck one of Terrence's Digimon. However, he still already has 2 attacks here, so he's probably going to have lethal as long as that next one isn't another answer to be able to remove that. So he swings with his Pokemon. Boom, and it's Hammer Spark. So it passes the turn over. Terrence misses lethal this turn, unfortunately. Speaking to Terrence more, this is something that you just kind of have to be aware of. You're swinging at your opponent's security, especially in this format where things can just be spicy. But props for Brad for running such a spicy list himself here, because Hammer Spark in a green deck is very, very good. I definitely wouldn't have been expecting it. As I've already said, because Terrence and Brad have played together before, Terrence is probably already aware that there's Hammer Sparks in the list, so was more than probably expecting it anyway. But he's put himself in such a great situation here because he still has 2 Pokemon, a Yellow Wargreymon, still has his TK out, and he has 5 security. But yeah, Brad's going to go ahead and swing with his hybrid here. It has JP underneath, so it has piercing. He's going to play a Hammer Spark to gain 1 memory here, and then he's going to use the effect to Digivolve into his Mega on swing, gets to trash the top card of security, and then swings and hits A TK carry again. I think that's the second time he's hit a TK carry in sec. But we knew that he had that because we saw it earlier. But he's able to deal with the one Pokemon and one yellow or grey. However, he can't deal with the other Pokemon. So game 2 goes to Terrence. Alright, so it's all here, it's on the line now. Who has the spiciest deck, and who is going to take it off in the spice off? Yeah, that was a little bit cringy to say from my mouth. I shivered a little bit there. So again, we do have the ability here to be able to go into mulligans. I believe Brad has made Terrence on the right go first, which, yeah, good shout from Brad here. Terrence bottom decks and mulligans again here. He bottom decked 2 Zoes there, so I would have been really like humming an R myself, but didn't get punished at all because he drew into another Zoe and another TK here and a Guilmon, so his hand is definitely better. So yeah, good choice on the mulligan there because it's added more value for him. Yeah, let me know how you feel about the mulligan in general in the comments below. Yeah, I really enjoy it. And we got a power move, a power drop here from Brad on the left. Just drops 2 tamers here. I believe that is the tamer name Ren. I don't know if that's correct, but yeah, and a JP. JP is the one that really matters here because it is busted. Straight away with the Guilmon here from Terrence, so he's able to raise the Guilmon, and then he digivolves into a Kazemon for 1 on top of the TK. He uses the Lightning Joust on the Kazemon to make it a 7k with 2 checks, which is just super spicy in the current format. He hits into 2 Pokemon, so he's just not punished either. Yeah, it's super spicy, particularly in this format, because a lot of like just things that you're hitting into security aren't going to be higher than 5 or 7 because of the hybrid and tamer format that we're currently in. But yeah, Terrence again has another TK here, so looking at a security, I could see 2 red Digimon and a TK. I'd have been tempted to take the TK here, just because I have accidentally killed myself off in games by my opponent swinging into TK and the TK adding a non-yellow card and not recovering from it. So I would have been tempted to take the red, but he takes the Zephyrmon, adds more pressure here, which is just super good. Brad is going to go ahead and Digivolve on top of his JP here, so it costs 1 and then he gains 2 from Boko, so he gains 1 memory again, which is just value. And then he gets to look at the top stack and he gets to add more shenanigans to his hand, which is just, oh, bellissimo, beautiful. He's going to pay 1 to Digivolve into I believe this is another champion here, but it does have piercing because of the JP, and the piercing hits into a Kazemon here. So now in Terrence's security, we know he has 2 red sources, 1 TK, and 1 miscellaneous, because we don't know what the other is. So it's potentially scary times here. Terrence has just topped a TK carry, but because he put so much pressure on early, that's not really going to be adding much value to him. But Brad's in a decent spot here. The scariest thing for Brad here is that his security is as low as it is, and although that like yellow can be played as security con, it can also just have a really big punch at times. So yeah, I'd be a bit nervous if I was Brad, but at the same time he has some pretty nice stuff. Terrence on the right is going to play a Pokemon here. He gets the Zephyrmon, Jet, and TK carry choice. He chooses the Zephyrmon and the TK carry. Yeah, I'd imagine here that he's either doing this to make sure that he can swing potentially more lethal, or as we can see, he already has a Jet Sylvie in hand, so he's already getting value from that, really. He doesn't overly have to worry. We do see that he has a Blinding Ray here, so he could Blinding Ray and then Digivolve over the TK and go into Zephyr and then pay 1 to go into Jet to be able to deal with the opponent's champion. I could potentially have been tempted to do that, but he decides to go with the TK carry here, playing it, yeah, perfectly fine, really. There's no question with that. Another really nice, just every time you see that where Digivolve into a hybrid and you gain 1 memory is, so good. With that JP ability is really nice. He gets his hybrids effect going off and he gets to add another hybrid to his hand here. Really nice value. It's really good at just being able to like poke a lot as green from what I've seen. Yeah, and the blue spiciness can really come in nice from what I've seen from Brad's list. I really like it. I think it's a different take on the blue. I think he calls it, is it green chili pepper, something like that? Sorry, Brad. Check the video. He has a particular name for it. But yeah, it definitely does. It packs a punch. So we know now that Terrence does have a TK and 2 red sources. Brad on left plays a 2-cost Izzy, a JP, and a JP. Yeah, this is not good for Terrence right now. Brad has practically just said, look, I'm going to add this hybrid to my hand, and also, just to let you know, I have 3 swings out and 4 tamers, so I effectively have 4 rookies in my raising area, which is just super good value. However, looking at Terrence's board, he again could also have lethal here. He has a Kazemon and a Zephyrmon from what I can see in his hand there. He also has some jet stuff. So I'd personally just be going straight for lethal. I'd just have to send it. However, Terrence knows Brad's deck. He knows that he has things like Rattlestar, he has the Hammers box here, so he could be concerned that that's going to happen. He's going to Digivolve into a Kazemon for 2, and then gain 2 from the Boko. We can see that he has the Jets there, but I know he also has the Zephyrmon, so I'd just be going for lethal, but he also has the Blinding and the Yellow Wargreymon, so he might just try and clear board here and try and play it safe and hope that with Brad's smaller hand that he doesn't have lethal. I would just go for game here. I think this might be a slight misplay from Terrence's point, but at the end of the day, again, he knows Brad's tech, so he could just be concerned about what's to come. He plays the Blind Array, goes into the Yellow Wargreymon here. He just drew a Gearmon here, so he can get an extra draw here, and then here he decides to swing into the Digimon and use the effect of Yellow Wargrey to give minus 6k to that. Again, I would have probably just swung at security here and tried to go for game, because next turn you're more than likely going to die. Swings at the security, hits into a champion. Yeah, not the best situation for Terrence now. You kind of just have to hope here that he doesn't have any hybrids. He swings with the Pokemon at security, hits into the Vmon, the jamming Vmon, which we unfortunately haven't actually seen a lot of in the best of 3. Brad got quite unlucky and didn't hit into them, but they add super nice value because they just have really good poke damage, which is just super good. Yeah, Terrence isn't in the best situation. I think he might be thinking here about what he could have done. He could have been worried about what was in security. But yeah, it's more than likely that Brad has game here just because of how green plays as well. Terrence plays his TK carry. Yeah, Brad's got the I've got game in hand energy when he swung with the Pokemon. Could have been a misplay because he could have went into the champion first and gained the 2 memory and then swung. But you never know what you're going to hit. He could have hit like a I don't know what Terrence could have in it, because he doesn't have the Schwartz actually. But he swings, adds the hybrid, hits the TK there, which is quite good, and then has the other hybrid. Definitely check out the channel and the description below, and thanks for watching.